Gear up, Scooter fam. Today I wanted to start off by going back over the Apollo Black Friday sale and give some clarification. I did a little bit of research on my historical prices for the Apollo line for a few scooters, and so I wanted to give some insight into that compared to the current Black Friday prices. So here we go. Um, for the Apollo City at 1549, that is $50 cheaper than I have seen. 1600 is the cheapest that I've seen for the scooter. Recently, it's been around 1749, but I have multiple places that I've noted being 1600. So 1549 is the best deal that I've seen so far. The Apollo Go, I thought I had seen it for 1,000. Everywhere I looked, I could not confirm that. Um, I did confirm 1100 more than once, and so it has been at 1100, and it is currently at 1100. So it is the lowest I've seen, but not lower than I've seen in recent history. I've not really paid much attention to the Apollo Air, to be honest. The Apollo V4, the Phantom V4, 1900 is the lowest that I've seen it, but I have seen it this low um, just prior to me getting the Klima. Actually, when I was considering it, I did find an old video, and it wasn't 1900 in the video, but in the video I mentioned that it had recently been 1900, which I do recall that. So it is 1900 currently, which is the lowest price that I've seen it, but not lower than the lowest. So for Black Friday, it's not a bad deal, but it's not the best deal I've seen. The only one that is the best that I've seen of these is the City for 1549. The City for 1549 is probably the best perceived Black Friday deal because it actually is lower than I've seen prior that I have any of my documentation. All right. So now we're going to move over to some ride footage and talk a little bit more of, how I like the Klima so far. This is going to be a good, positive video. And to start off, I just want to say that overall, I'm really happy with the Klima so far since I've gotten to ride it. And overall, I'm satisfied with the support that I got from Michael Shaw at Nami and Fluid Free Rides. They both did a good job, especially Michael Shaw, doing a good job of helping me find the issues so that I could communicate with Fluid Free Ride, although very slowly, the issue so we could get the correct brakes, which, like I said, I've said in the past, was a tad slow for my taste. Other than that, we got the support that I needed to get a correction done. Would I prefer not to have the issue to correct? Sure. But that given, I did try to look at the bright side of things, and I did get the brakes fixed, and the scooter has been amazing so far. Besides that, so I have no complaints. I'm still a little new to getting out and riding every day, so I can't make a full determination at this point. But I wanted to update where I am at, and so a lot of I give them a lot of credit. I've gotten a little bit of some negative responses, or maybe a video that I did that was a little harsh when I first started having these problems, and I didn't mean it to be. It was my honest opinion, and reflected how I felt at the time. I didn't feel like I was overly harsh, but maybe it came across that way. And then in future videos, I've given credit where credit is due. We found a solution. It's a satisfactory solution. I'm happy with the solution. Am I happy that I had to do that right off the bat? Not necessarily. Am I happy that it took so long to take care of the problem? Not necessarily. But I'm happy after all is said and done, which is the most important part. There's no question about that. So overall, I'm extremely happy with the scooter. I'm satisfied with where we got to, and I'll leave it at that. Everything else is yet to be determined as far as the how the scooter holds up and future interactions that I have with uh, Mr. Shaw if I do, and fluid free rides if I do. So um, they will have an opportunity to deal with that, in the future as well. I have no complaints about what Michael Shaw's support. His support was amazing. Um, does some of the responsibility fall on him for the brake sensors being, I mean, I suppose some, but he's quick to jump in and give a helping hand, which I think goes above and beyond, and I've said that before. So he gets all the credit for that. Fluid free rides. I just wish they had a quicker response system set up in place. That's all. So hopefully that improves. I'll continue to give thumbs up where I feel things are good, and then give thumbs down where I feel things are not good. And I apologize if anyone's offended by that. And my thumbnails may seem a little harsh because I'm trying to grab attention, but that's how that's how you get people to click on your videos. It's not clickbait. What I said was how I felt. I didn't say anything mean. I just may have portrayed it in a attention-getting way that maybe they felt like was a little harsh. And maybe from that perspective it was, but it certainly reflected how I felt at the time. And so I can't completely apologize for that, but I do apologize to Fluid or Mr. Shaw if you were offended by my video in any way. All right, getting that out of the way. Today I went about six more miles, and I was at 54 when I started at a fresh battery. I'm now at 79 miles. So I've ridden another 25 miles since recharging my battery on the second charge, and currently at 68% battery. So 79 miles driven, which is 25 more than the last, and then from 100% we're down to 68%. Doing the math, that comes out to an expected range of 62 and a half 62 and a half miles of range total for the second run. Do I expect that? No. I know the efficiency will drop as far as the calculations and so forth, how that comes across. So the percentage won't run at the same rate. It'll increase as we get lower. 68%. I was at 50% when I made three more 8-mile trips at 50%, and so I expect by the time I get to 50%, I'll still be able to travel about 24 miles before I have to recharge. So 18% still to get to 50%. We'll see how long that takes. But once again, I know I'm not going to get to 62%, or I certainly don't think I'm going to get to 62%, considering I only got 54 last time. And I've got to be doing a little bit more. Although, you could look at it a different kind of way. I don't want to assume, but let's just theoretically say that we had to. This bridge is really sketchy. I didn't really like riding over this bridge today. I'm going to the tag agency to get my tags renewed for my car, and I decided to go on the Klima. But I've never been on this bridge before on the Klima, and it's super sketchy. It's really low and really narrow. If I swerve one way or the other, I could go right over to the cars passing under on the highway. So that would be not good. So I took it really slow, and I crouched down really low, so my center of gravity was lower. If I did have a little swerve or something like that, I'm going not over the bridge. So yeah, I don't know if I'll go back this way again. Anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that range. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to get 62 miles on this charge. Once I'm moving, you do get coasting. If you're driving around slow, you're not getting a lot of that. I mean, it's hard to say, but I will assume I'm not going to get 62 miles of range. I will assume I'm not going to get 54 miles of range. If I consider how slow I was driving in the beginning, like let's say the first 5 to 10 miles, I probably was a little hesitant to drive anywhere close to 20 miles an hour um, on a regular basis. And some of that I just did in a parking lot, 12 miles an hour or so, just running a little battery out because I needed to store it for a bit. I still didn't recharge it, but I did want to drop below 80% just in case I had to store it for a few days, which I did. So some of that mileage was ridden off in the parking lot. So I don't think that's gonna be, you know, representative of what I'm gonna get like this, just riding around doing my daily stuff. All right, here we are on the sketchy bridge again on the way back. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get 62 miles, but like I said, being honest, it was kind of hard for me to believe I'll get 54. So let's talk about how I feel about the Klima in general. Obviously, the range is a huge surprise. Um, I didn't think I would get anywhere to 50 to 60 miles of range. That's crazy. That's awesome, and couldn't be happier with that. Way exceeded my expectations off everything that I've seen. Um, but I'm new to scooters, and it's also a little sketchy bridge I walked across. Way too coming off down that angle, it was just easier for me to walk the scooter across and try to navigate on top of it. So sometimes I'll do that to save myself and the scooter. Anyway, so the handling is amazing. As big and bulky as the scooter feels compared to the Journey Max, it just handles just as well. Even better in some cases because the tires are so wide. It feels really stable, just kind of going, either way. So, not difficult to maneuver through tight spaces on sidewalks and so forth, which is, I was concerned about with it being so bulky and feeling so bulky. But it does an amazing job of that. The ride quality itself is just amazing. Everything I've done on it, the bumps aren't nearly as hard on the hands. I don't feel uncomfortable. I don't feel like I'm gonna lose control of the scooter or lose my grip on the scooter. Not one time. I've kind of more relaxed just riding the scooter. So much nicer on the longer trips. Like the other day, I went like 11 miles yesterday, and pretty nice little trip. I did want to show you guys the updated cockpit that I did. I'll pop a picture up here as I'm talking about this. But I've got 2 mirrors that I've added. You probably can see it in the background too. I've added 2 mirrors, which I got in the mail today. I added a top bar, which I already had, and then a GoPro mount for now onto the middle bar there, in case I do more of these style videos. I plan on getting a light, but I haven't pulled the trigger on that yet. It's not a high priority because I don't plan on riding at night much, but I am going to get that at some point, just in case. I've got the brake handle covers coming tomorrow to give a little more grip. And then my tire kit, which is going to be the inflator and tire tire plugs, tube, tire plug kit. And so I'll show you guys that when I get it, and also if I ever have to use it. Hopefully I don't, but I probably likely will at some point. Show you how that works and everything, and I'll give you an update on the portable tire pump, so to speak, electric pump. and because I'll be probably adding some airs to my tire tomorrow before I go out. I'll go out again, and I'll try to get some chest video of the cockpit, the new updated cockpit, so you guys can see. It hadn't been updated by this video anyway, because I hadn't gotten the items yet when I took this trip. So I'll take that trip tomorrow with the new cockpit, as you can see in the background and see in the photo, and then. And we'll do some more, and we'll talk some more then. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. And happy riding.